In this video, you'll learn how to get started programming with C# in Visual Studio. I'm using Windows 10 with an Intel Core i7 CPU, but you can use a Mac as well, which will work just the same. To get started, head on over to the Visual Studio download page using the link in the description. Here you'll see there are a few editions to choose from. If you're just getting started, choose the Community Edition. It's free and has all the features you need. Clicking on the link will download a lightweight installer. Open this and accept the defaults and click Install. I have a fast internet connection, so the download only took a few minutes. And as you can see, it starts installing right after it has downloaded the first components. I've sped up the video here, but overall, the installation process took a little over 10 minutes. You'll see there's an option to launch Visual Studio once the installation is complete. And now it's complete, it's launching. If this doesn't happen for you, you can launch it manually. When Visual Studio starts for the first time, you'll be prompted for which development settings you prefer. I'd suggest choosing C#. Now, on the launch screen, we want to make a simple Hello World program that writes Hello World to the console. Use the filters to choose C# as the language and console as the project type. Be sure to choose console app and not the .NET Framework version, as the .NET Framework is an older version of .NET. Click Next. Give the project a name and accept the default location if you wish, and click Next. You can choose .NET 6 or 7. Tick the Do Not Use Top Level Statements box, then click Create. Now we're in the project. You'll see a panel called Solution Explorer on the right that has a solution item, and under it is our project. You can think of a solution as the document of Visual Studio, just like programs like Word and Excel allow you to work on documents. The project is where your code is, and is what gets compiled. We'll delve into that more in a later video. In the main part of the screen, you'll see a code editor and a tab with the Hello World program. This is actually all we'll need to see C# in action. To build it and run it, just click the solid green play button on the toolbar. When it launches, it will open in a console window and, as expected, print Hello World. By default, the console window will remain open after the program has ended, which is a good thing if you want to see the output rather than have it disappear in a flash. Let's look a bit more closely at the program. You'll see that there's a namespace with the same name as the project. This is like a logical filing system within a .NET program, which allows you to use the same name for things, so long as they're unique within the namespace. In this case, we only have a single class, so we're good. Speaking of the class, the console template has provided us with one called Program. The name isn't important. What is important is that there's a single static method somewhere called main. The main method is the entry point of the program and executes top to bottom. When the method exits, the program finishes. One of the important things about programs is that they can take arguments. You'll notice that the main method takes a single parameter called args. In .NET, the type of things precedes the name, and here the type is an array of strings. Let's pass some arguments to our program. To do this, we need to open the debug properties and add some arguments separated by spaces. To use these arguments, we can use a feature called string interpolation, where we prefix the string, which is the thing in double quotes, with a $. Then we can write C# code anywhere inside the curly braces. Let's replace the message with the first and second value of the args array, noting that in C# we count from 0. Now let's run it. And there we see that our arguments were passed to our program and output to the console. One of the reasons for using an integrated development environment or IDE, such as Visual Studio, is that we can debug. Debugging is the process of pausing a program and looking at its state. This is something you'll often do when you're either trying to understand a program or looking for problems. By default, Visual Studio will enter break mode when it encounters a problem, but you can ask it to enter break mode by setting what's called a breakpoint. Let's do this now by clicking on the gutter. You'll see a large red circle that signifies a breakpoint. Now if we run the program, Visual Studio will pause at that line. You'll notice that the workspace changes to show additional panels when in run mode. If you take a look at the locals panel, you can see it shows the parameter to main, and you can expand it to show values. You can also hover over the parameter in the editor to see the value. Furthermore, In either panel, you can also edit the value. How cool is that? One last thing is that you can arrange the panels how you want by dragging the panel and docking it using the docking overlays. You can share a panel space or dock it to the side of the screen. Or if you don't want to dock it, just hold down Control while dragging to hide the docking overlays. And there you have it, your first C# program. Be sure to check out my other C# videos to learn more about programming C#.